A couple weeks ago, I published a short film, Two Ideas. I'm happy that it was received quite well and creating it was a fun. So today I will take you through behind the scenes process and some tips. If you haven't watched the short film yet, I highly recommend you do that. So the idea came about a month ago when I was speaking with one of my mentees. I was making a case for experimentation. I was telling them about trying out different ideas before discarding, and I could see how complicated it started to get as we continued talking. I thought maybe if I try different medium, it will be much easier, and that's why I created it. The first thing was to define the perspective, as in the who is telling this story and who is giving this message. And I thought, what if we see it from idea's perspective? What would an idea think about us? And I also find that ideas are much like children. So they are not fully developed, but they have high potential. Now, once I decided on the perspective that I wanted to use, the dialogue writing became quite easier. Now, there were two main things regarding production. One was the actual filming process and another was performance. So initially I thought it would be simple. I could just put up two kids in front of the camera and have them talk. But then I quickly realized that it can be quite challenging. It would have been very difficult for us to finish. So then I thought maybe we'll just use scrap papers or crumpled papers as actors, as ideas, and give them voiceover, which was quite easier. It was like this small setup to organize and to film. But the dialogue part was kind of difficult because the moment I decided to have children for voiceover, I really had to change the language. I had to simplify it, make sentences shorter, use simpler words, and so on. And whenever I couldn't do that, you would notice them struggling a bit.
I think he's being rather too commercial. Maybe he prefers ROI over doing the right thing.
While filming wasn't that hard, the dialogue recording was. As you can imagine, working with kids, getting their pronunciation, their pacing, volume, and all of those things to an acceptable level, it can be time consuming. I had to have a lot of patience and it took a little bit longer than expected. I think we probably had like 10 to 12 takes altogether. Well, I'm pretty sure they enjoyed it.
I said I loved it so much. I told you 3 times I said I loved it so much.
I really liked the message of this video. It was very interesting.
I think preparing crumpled papers and dialogue recording, that was fun.
I loved the recording because I said the voice.
I really liked the recording because first of all, the dialogues were very interesting and I liked it because I got to say the dialogues a lot of times and those dialogues were very interesting, so I kept on memorizing those.
I think dialogue writing was difficult. It was challenging because simplifying the language, making it compact and yet get your message across is difficult.
The most difficult part was when we had to roll the scrunched up paper, the new one, into the correct position so the other one could be close enough to talk. So first we were going to do a throwing one, but we had to do a rolling one because it was too difficult.
There are a few subtexts to this short film, and I think it's best left to the audience and their perspective to realize, because That's the best part of this medium.
I learned that you would make mistake and I would come and help you a lot, and then if you would be doing it yourself and you keep on making lots of mistakes along one, I would come and do it myself with Adi.
I learned how if you make a mistake, so same as Manu, if you make a mistake, instead of leaving it, you need to keep on trying it, and that's exactly what happened with my dialogue. So first I kept on saying it like I was actually reading it instead of talking, and then I had to do it a few times before I got it correct.
I'm still exploring this medium, but I will definitely create more of these. So if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, do that now. It will mean a lot to me and to the whole group.